Welcome. For those new to my channel, welcome, and for those coming back, welcome back. Appreciate your viewership. So this is MyWhoosh. I wanted to talk about why I am flirting with the concept of jumping ship, which I know I've mentioned in the past that my plan was to stay with Zwift, but after the amazing In the Drops episode yesterday, which if you haven't seen that show, definitely go check it out. Those guys are amazing. Great show yesterday. They had some of the main guys from Whoosh in there talking about the platform, talking about what's coming up. Obviously, the big topic when it comes to MyWhoosh is the fact that they're partnered with the UCI right now, so they're going to be doing the UCI Esports World Championships, and then also they have a race every week called the Sunday Race Club, where you can earn real money. I was looking at what some of the payouts are. So if you're in the same category, so essentially if you look at from category D to category A in Zwift, you can get anywhere from a few $100s for first place all the way up to $1,000+ for first place in the A category. Where I'm at in the D category, first place prize for the pre-qualifying races are a little over $500, which for virtual cycling is not bad at all. And so, as we all know, this is an expensive hobby. So why not get a benefit out of your fitness, out of your passion? So that's the main reason why I'm flirting with the idea of going to MyWhoosh. As you see here, so this is a hill climb challenge. Stupid thing for me to decide to do, considering it's my first race or first event. I end up not completing it because my computer crashed. My video card has an issue so the app that I use to record, OBS, has a known issue with my video card. So I wasn't able to complete it, but I got about 500 meters up the climb, which this was a pretty tough climb. So my smart trainer, I have an Elite Diretto from 2018 that isn't fully compatible with MyWhoosh. That's one limiting factor when it comes to not only the racing, but also when it comes to the game itself. Is they have a specific set of trainers that are compatible. Most people out there use either one of the big names, either Tax, Elite, or Wahoo, and so a lot of their newer stuff is compatible. Mine happens to be an older device that I bought secondhand, so it's not. So I'm not getting any power. I'm not getting any elevation feedback. So I'm spinning my legs as fast as I can to try and maintain the wattage that I can on this climb in order to kind of keep up with my performance like I would on Zwift. So on Zwift, I can average somewhere between 230 to 270 up any of the climbs on Watopia, or really any of the climbs in the platform. So I tried to do the same thing here. Tried to make sure that I was keeping with going around 250 watts or so up this climb to see how it would go. Now, I ended up transferring my Zwift profile numbers, and I did transfer in air quotes because all you do is send them. You basically send them a screenshot of how much time you've spent in Zwift, how much elevation gain you had, and how many kilometers you've ridden, as well as you provide the actual numbers, and then they validate that as your time in game. And so they give you rewards based off of that effort, which is great because that means none of us have to start from zero if you've been on Zwift for a long time, like I have. And so, I ended up getting, a couple extra jerseys, a couple extra bikes. So this bike that I'm using was probably equivalent to the Tron bike. It's 2/3 of the way up on aero and weight. So it's probably about a 3.3 in the sense of the Zwift terms. 3-star on weight and aero. So I wanted to try it out. and see how it goes. And I gotta say, it was pretty good experience. Obviously my video looks like it's lagging a bit, and it's really because my like I said before, my video card, I just needed to get the right settings dialed in, because the recording app that I use is what's creating this choppiness, not the actual game itself. Without the recording app, the game runs smooth. It is a hefty game. I gotta say that, and that's one of the things the guys addressed yesterday on the In the Drops show. So, as you can see here, I'm getting passed by guys that I've passed previously. They were all kind of sitting on the side of the road for whatever reason, and then they decided to just go from hanging out to 3+ watts per kilogram for a while. And so I was doing my best to maintain the mid twos, trying to stay I was trying to stay at 2.6, 2.7, but that was just too much effort for me at that moment. Trying to hold 270 watts or so, which is essentially above my FTP. My FTP right now is at 239, and so comfortably I can hang out in the mid twos for a long time and keep my heart rate in the 160s. But like you saw, those guys just kind of passed me like I was sitting still, and so I'm just doing my best to get back on. And I gotta say, looking at the graphics of the worlds, I mean, you can't see it in this video because of the choppiness, but at certain points when you see my character's legs go into the light, you can see the individual striations of the calf muscles. You can see the seams on the jersey. The one thing I find weird is you can see through, so where the helmet goes on the head, there's the arrow, the hole in the back where the, ventilation should come out and help cool down the head. You can see the fact that my character's bald. So they, in terms of aesthetics for certain things, it's, they have really, really good graphics. And then other things, like, I just find it weird that the character's bald underneath the helmet, instead of having some sort of ability to change his hair, which I don't believe we do have that. I'm sure it's in there somewhere. So still just steady going on, doing my best to catch up. Like you can see, they have, these video promos. It really does feel like you're in, in this case with this world, it really does feel like you're in, the extravagance of Abu Dhabi or Dubai or any of the UAE, UAE type environments. And so it was really cool. So when I first started going down the hill here, I saw my character get into somewhat of a super tuck. It didn't actually, obviously, it's UCI, UCI likes it for a reason. So I'm sure they probably were like, hey, no super tuck, no this, no that. So the character does get into a tight ball, and it does it really quickly. Like, that's one complaint that I would say I have with Zwift, is that when you stop pedaling downhill, it takes a while before you get into that tuck. Where here, it goes in there fairly quickly. As soon as you stop pedaling, if you're going downhill, I'd say within a few seconds you're already in that super tuck, and so you're getting a good aerodynamic advantage going downhill. So this is the midway point of the hill, even though it shows that I'm at 395 meters of elevation gain. This mountain was 697, if I remember correctly, for the stage. And so I guess 2/3 of the way up. And it goes into this nice valley that is a good break from the climb, because like I said, it is a tough climb. Like there are sections there where it's solid 10% for a little bit, for 50 meters, 40 meters, whatever it is, of elevation, and then there's parts where it's 14+% for a bit of distance. So it's no joke. And so again, you get another nice flat part here. And at this point, I'm starting to get a little bit frustrated because I don't have the elevation feedback through the smart trainer, so I'm not getting the resistance changes like I would expect, and I'm not used to that type of cycling. When I'm on Zwift, I keep my trainer difficulty set to 100% unless my plan is to do a zone 2 ride. So on a zone 2 ride, I set my trainer difficulty down to 10%, so that way I can get a little bit of feedback from elevation changes. But for the most part, it's basically like what I would do riding in Florida. We don't have that much elevation where I live in South Florida. So it would simulate like going over a bridge, or going up a slope on the coastline, because on the coastal roads in Florida there is there is some elevation changes, but we're talking about a few feet from bottom to top versus stuff like this. So this was a hard part of the climb. This to me felt like the leg snapper, except a lot longer. It took me a good few minutes to get up to the top of this part of the climb. And like I said, this is where I'm starting to get frustrated, because I'm not getting that feedback that I'm hoping to get. And so of course my brain constantly wanting to troubleshoot stuff, coming from an IT background. I'm looking at it like, okay, what is it? Is it this? Is it that? I in the moment realized that I didn't calibrate my trainer to the game. I just paired it and started going, especially since my app crashed, and then I had to restart, which then put me from enough time in the game to then 2 minutes before the start of the stage. And so when I'm getting to this point, I'm thinking like, I forgot to calibrate my trainer. Maybe that's it. And so the way I would typically use a smart trainer on Zwift is I would pair the power and the controller aspect of it to Zwift via Bluetooth, because it doesn't accept elevation changes via ANT, even though it has the ANT FAC feature built in. And so at this point, I'm like, okay, I got to test the settings, see what's going on. So I'm unpairing and pairing the device, and back and forth. And then I start realizing like, oh, there's moments where I unpair the device and I go to repair it and it doesn't pair correctly. And so what I did here was I changed it from Bluetooth to ANT, seeing if that would change anything. It didn't. And so I went back to repair it, and ended up realizing that, hey, sometimes when you pair it via Bluetooth and then switch to ANT, it doesn't want to switch back to Bluetooth. It just, there's some issue there. And I think that's more of a smart trainer issue than an app issue. I'm looking to upgrade my smart trainer, so we'll see what happens there. But outside of that, my experience, I gotta say, was pretty good. They just updated the game with new game physics, with new graphics, new stages, or new worlds, and they got a lot of different worlds, which part of riding in this environment is getting that experience of what it would be like to ride in the real world environment there. So, like I said, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a great experience. Definitely looking forward to doing more, and there you go. Have a great day.